Hey, it's Mary with the Painted Peach, and today we're going to make a primitive sunflower. We're going to grab this Dollar General cocoa liner and we're going to cut a circle out of that. We're going to use these circles that I got from the Dollar Tree that help you blow balloons up to certain sizes, and we're going to trace out a few different sizes of circles. So I've already done one, and this is the smaller circle that I created. We are cutting those out of some coffee stained fabric that I have, and we are going to do we're going to overlap them and cut 2 circles at one time. Now we are just going to cut slits all the way around the circle, and these will be our inner petals. The one that I created before was a little bit bigger, and that will be our outer petals. Now that we have them all cut, we're going to take this saffron chalk paste from Chalk Couture. I'm going to wet my fabric down a little bit so that the paste will smooth out a little bit better on the fabric, and I'm going to paint all the way around the circle of those petals. I'm also going to do the bottom layer of that we cut, and we're going to get that nice and wet and do the same thing with those petals. I set the other one over there to dry for a while, and we're going to use this one first. So I'm going to get it nice and yellow, and then we're going to give it a good dry. And here is our larger piece of fabric that I cut before this, and I'm showing you here how they're a lot bigger than this one. I do end up cutting them down some and ripping them a little bit closer into this one. Here's how they'll fit all together. So I am gluing down the cocoa liner to my center one just so I can get a good eye of what I'm doing here. I wanted the center to stay down, but it ends up popping right back up after I glue these on. Now I'm taking a mixture that I have. I call it Coffee Mod Podge. It is instant coffee, water, vanilla, cinnamon, Mod Podge, and a little bit of burnt umber paint. And I mix it all together, and then I add it to the fabric, and it will help it stiffen up. And I'm just going to scrunch them up and try to give them a good dry. Later on, I'll set the sunflower out in the sun and let it dry really nice and crisp. You could also stick fabrics in the oven before you create your project and get them nice and stiff beforehand. I'm doing the same thing to this back piece for the back petals. First, I am adding the Mod Podge mixture to it, and then we will go in and add some color. This color is called Hey Pumpkin from Chalk Couture, and it is also a chalk paste. And I don't put too much of that on there. I just wanted to give it a little bit of a sunflowery color and not be just brown. So I'm going to give that a good dry, and we will move on to the next step. So I'm gonna glue the top piece down and then decide where I want my back petals to be. I do end up ripping them to be closer to the sunflower center, and then I end up cutting them a little bit shorter because they were really long once I ripped them. Alright, we got those petals pretty close to the other ones, but I really like how they're looking. I am going to scrunch them up. I had to glue this little piece right here of the liner in the middle because it was split. And then I just take this coffee Mod Podge mixture and I add it right onto that cocoa liner. And we're going to add a bit of coffee grounds to the top just to give it a little bit of contrast and darken it up some. That will dry, that Mod Podge will dry clear, and all you'll see is the dark areas of the coffee. I thought I was going to put this moss on the top, and then I decided I did not like that, so I got the hot glue and I just glued the moss around the where the liner meets the petals, and I think that looks really good. I think it gave it more of a realistic sunflower look. And this moss actually came from Dollar General on the 50% off sale this week, so I got a good deal on it. And I got me a couple bags because, I mean, who doesn't need some moss mixed with sticks, right? So I just glued this all the way around until it meets the other side, and I think that turned out really nice. I did add a little bit more coffee on there. I kept adding that because I felt like it needed it more. All right, now we are going to get out our leaves. So I have some pretty stiff cloth. This is canvas drop cloth, and I coffee stained it, and I just already did one there, but I take my coffee grunge mixture, which is water, vanilla, and instant coffee, and you just mix that all together, and you can keep it in a jar in your refrigerator. I just take that and I put it on my fabric to darken it up a little bit more, and then I dry it really good, and then I add the moss chalk paste, which is another chalk couture color, and I'd crumble it up and give it a good dry, and it'll get really nice and stiff, especially with that canvas drop cloth. So that is how we're going to make our leaves. I'm just making 2 for this for now, but eventually I'll make some more, and I'll make a whole bunch of these sunflowers to be together on one stalk. Now I have a stick right out of my yard. I just got it from my weeping holly tree. They fall out all the time, so I grabbed a few of them, and I'm just going to use some hot glue to glue it right to the back of my sunflower. But first I'm going to take one of these cloths that I've already cut, and I'm going to paint it with the moss green, and we're going to do the whole thing, and that's what we're going to use to cover up the back of our sunflower and hold that stick on there a little better. And this, if you know what a regular sunflower looks like, they have kind of like a green backing to them that is their leaves. So this is what we're going to do to, secure that stick on there and give it a more realistic look. The other side of this is the yellow that I painted earlier, so that works out perfectly. The yellow petals will be on the front and the green will be on the back. Here is where I'm going to glue my stick on with some hot glue. You could sew it on, you can do whatever works for you. I like to use my hot glue. So I'm going to glue the back straight over that stick, and that's going to help secure it and hold it in place, and then make this sunflower look just even more realistic. Now I'm going to take that coffee Mod Podge and I'm going to put it all over the back of that green fabric. That way it will stiffen up and push those petals forward. When I go set this out in the sun to dry, I'm going to set it this way so that the petals will all fall down towards the center and be nice and stiff and like it's going out. I decided I still needed some more coffee on there, so here I am adding a little bit more, and this is how it turned out. I did add my leaves with a little bit of rope up there, and I will add a smaller one and a middle-sized one, so it'll be a bunch of 3, but for now this is what we got. Thanks for watching today. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell, and I hope you'll come back for more. And as always, stay peachy.